You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities, and special guests. Hosted by Demetrius Dinny Reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
Good morning, and welcome to another awesome episode of Vigilantes Radio. I'm your host, dini-mussolini, and we have a very special guest, so you definitely want to stick around for that. Top of the morning to you all, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful morning and day wherever you are at in the world. So we will dive in deep in just a second here. I can't wait to deliver this episode to your inboxes. For those who didn't catch the live show, don't worry, I got you covered. I'll send you the playback, as I always do. All right, so there are things beyond the moment. You know, the enticement of the moment can be powerful. To overcome it, ask yourself, what is in your future that is powerful and compelling enough to get you through the present? The world is full of distractions. What is it that keeps you focused? Life is filled with temptations. How do you maintain your discipline? What desire is bigger for you than the desire to get caught up in the meaningless distractions of the moment? There must be something beyond the moment. The quality of the journey depends on how compelling the destination is for you. Living in the moment is the only way to get anything done, but living for the moment keeps you continually spinning your wheels and getting nowhere. A destination is very, definition lies beyond the present. What is your destination? How compelling have you made it? If you're continually distracted and knocked off course, perhaps your dreams should be bigger. Make your goals big enough to be compelling and meaningful enough to pull you irresistibly towards them. When you value and respect your own future, it will be bright indeed. Take that from me, dini-mussolini. That is my word, and word is bond.
You're live in the mix. Let's get this started.
Yo, hello, and welcome to another awesome episode of Inside the Music, or Inside the Book, Inside the Business, where we dive into the minds of the people who create marvelous things. It feels so good to be back with you guys once again. So one time for my people who are indigos, crystalline, or starseeds, or for my Vigilantes audience family, and 2 times for my people who are vegetarian or vegans. If you're like me, we are averaging over 37,000 live listeners, and we've been at this for 4 solid years. I appreciate all you guys who've been rocking with the kids on this journey, and we are still evolving, baby. It is all because of you, most definitely. We are the people who have dedicated their lives to music, spirituality, business, literature, art, movies, and research in every aspect, and we want to allow you an opportunity to tell your story. Man, we've had celebrities on our show, from Grammy Award-winning artists to nominees to actors, comedians, CEOs, technology geniuses, visual artists, from authors to professors and aliens. Or people think they're aliens. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. Come on our show and talk to me. So check it out. To book an interview or just to share a real cool story, email me at vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. And that's V as in Victor. I'm passionate about what I do, just as passionate about what you do, and together Yes, together we can get your voice heard by the people who should hear it. So let's create something incredible. You know the number to dial, 701-801-9813. Text that number to your buddy right now and tell them to tune in to connect with us or our guests, or you can hop in the mix directly from our website, onlyonemediagroup.com. Right from the homepage, you can slap that go live button and you'll be right here live in the mix and in the chat room with all of us. Feel free to shoot over some questions to ask our guests while they are here, but only as time permits. Sometimes my guests and I talk entirely too much and we take up the entire hour. And as always, all episodes are available for free download, and you can grab that from either Spreaker.com/Only One Media Group, iTunes, YouTube, or any app from the Google Play or iTunes Store or over at our website. And that goes for every single episode that we've ever aired.
Imagine being paid for using social media. WebTalk is changing the way we connect and get paid. WebTalk is the social media platform that pays you. With WebTalk, you can promote and manage all your social media sites from one place. It includes features like user search, media galleries, referral tracking, magic newsfeed, Meet video chat, classifieds, and much, much more. WebTalk is booming with over 4 million users. Manage, connect, engage, get paid. No matter why you network, you can do it better with WebTalk. You can connect with your friends, colleagues, and the world. Use WebTalk to consolidate, organize, and syndicate everything. Imagine your perfect networking app. You will find it with WebTalk. It's time to take back control of you. WebTalk is the best free way to communicate and create success. To learn more, visit myfreewebtalk.com. That's myfreewebtalk.com.
Okay, swiftly, concierge service on demand, swiftly, all right in the palm of your hand, download it now, delivery service, that's right, available 24/7, 365, packages, groceries, food, gifts, medicine, and more, get it to your door, none better than, keeping London moving, this is what you're missing, if you're ready, download it now, this is Swiftly, hey!
All right, you just heard a wonderful ad, a little ditty from our special guest. That we'll be interviewing this morning. The main man, the head honcho, the guy with all the superpowers. Cameron Black is here with me this morning, and we'll be talking about the Swiftly movement, the Swiftly app, the Swiftly business, you know? So, you are in for a treat and learning the story behind how this idea came to be and how he's helping mankind move forward in the innovation of last mile logistics. All right, so our interviews go beyond the music, beyond the books, the movies, the films, the businesses, the education, the technology, and sometimes even the ego. We go behind the scenes and we try to go into the minds of these marvelous people who create these marvelous aspirations and give them to me and you and also the universe. That is my duty for you guys and for myself, delivering the questions, because we definitely have questions and they have the answers, right? That is our sole purpose, providing a voice to cover the internet. So, once again, welcome to our corner of the internet here at Vigilantes Radio Podcast. And I'm your host, Dini-Mussolini, or just simply Dini, whichever you prefer. But with that, without any more monologue from me, let's go ahead and invite our guest on. Hey, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm very well, Dini. Yourself?
Doing great. Yeah, thanks for asking.
Good stuff. How's my sound?
You're good.
Awesome.
Right.
So thanks for having me today. Appreciate it really well.
Yeah, man, most definitely. It's my pleasure to have you on our show, Cameron. So we had a chance to connect the other day before the show, and you truly inspire me, man, with your journey and how you do things. So I think that is where we will start kind of chipping away at the old iceberg here, and going behind the scenes, going to the mind of Cameron Black. So if you will, man, like, give us your life story, and you can bring up any timeline period of your life that you feel like is significant that we should know about. Yeah, man. So have at it, man. Let us know who is Cameron Black.
I appreciate that, Diddy. So yeah, we did connect, and likewise, I got a lot of inspiration from yourself, and the shows and interviews that you've done so far. They've been wonderful, and I was really excited today to actually be here. So thanks for having me once again. And just to sort of touch base and tell you a little bit about my background. So Swiftly is not the first sort of business that I've been involved in, but if I start from the beginning and get to the end, I grew up in London here, where I'm sat today, and I studied computers. I wasn't always into computers. In the earlier days, it was more sort of design and technology, which more focused on woodwork, architectural, and I really, from probably the age of 7 right up until 15, just really focused on design and tech, and it was really a passion and sort of my kind of go-to. But as you grow up, we have various phases in our lives, and I grew up in South London, close to a place called Brixton, if you know it. And we have various phases in our lives, so I kind of veered and steered away from that. And, coming to the age of 15 and 16, I probably realized there was something called money, and you could go out and spend it and get some really nice things. So my whole sort of perception became focused on not what my journey had been, but, what I could do with all of this, paper, as we call it. And I steered away and went into, various phases, but, worked in the financial world for a little bit. So in banking and sort of insurance, as an intern, and, you do out here, we have sort of internships, and then you work your way up a little bit. But I slowly realized as I was continuing to study part-time that, computers was what I wanted to do. So I went and studied computer science, graphics and games, and I was fortunate to actually move into Siemens at the time. It was a subsidiary of Siemens, and just so excited to learn the craft and actually be part of the world. I quickly realized that IT was a boring game. I give you the sort of the analogy of, you see Doctor Who and you've got the guys in the white jackets and the clipboards, and that was my life day to day, 9 to 5, so I couldn't really deal with that. So I quit. The reason being is I'm more of a people person. I love to talk. I love the engagement. And I moved into more sort of technology consulting. So really, again, for the banks and for the tech companies, really trying to put them together. I did that for a while, and I was fortunate to move into an actual analyst firm. And through that, I realized, I had the opportunity to work with some of these big names that we talk about on a daily basis and use their platforms. And I learned a lot from them. But in the corporate world, you're only worth as far as you're prepared to push. And every day you have to start again. It doesn't matter where you are, CEO, president, the business development manager or director. And I wanted more. So I veered out, and I took a voluntary redundancy. And for 24 months, I sat at home and figured out, what the next path would be for me. And what I then did was I was actually abroad to let you know. So fortunately for me, having been in all of this industry, I had the opportunity to travel, and we were living in Europe. And I decided to come back home. And when I came back home to London, I purchased a franchise. They market these things pretty well. Be your own boss, own your own business, and make exponential amount of money, which was, again, back to, the love that I fell in, which was the paper. So starting the journey through this franchise, it was actually a logistics franchise. I quite quickly realized it wasn't what it was sold on the tin. And my impression was to go into the last mile or logistics industry and sort of build a business where we could employ people and I would be sat in the office and we could grow. I had to do the hard work. And for somebody who that wasn't sort of the beginning or the end game, I quite quickly became frustrated, but I took the time to actually learn and understudy the business for a little bit. And what I realized was that there are quite a lot of flaws. And not to mention any names, but these large delivery organizations, whereby they have drivers, these drivers run on an ETA, or estimated time of arrival. So you could have ordered your phone from AT&T, T-Mobile, whoever, and they tell you their phone's going to arrive at 1 o'clock. But if the driver's late or stuck in traffic, they skip you. And you've got to wait another 2 days or 48 hours for your package. And for someone who's paying money to then serve his customers to grow a territory or an area, that wasn't where I wanted to be. And, the customer's always been at the forefront of my journey with everything that I do. If you do it right, the result of a good deed gives you all the rewards. So I pulled out of the franchise slowly at an expense, and decided to sort of come home, look at the drawing board, and how could we fill the gap in the market for these people who are frustrated, because sometimes these packages go to warehouses and then you've got to go and pick it up. So through the network, we established and had quite a lot of conversations with retailers, hotels, some of the logistic houses, and we started pretty small. Actually, what we started doing was just in the hotels we would store luggage, and then we would then deliver a parcel to someone who had sort of missed it, so it would go to the shop and we would go and collect it. And we've grown slowly through word of mouth, and we have a small clientele. But the small clientele, we actually didn't have a website at the time. It was word of mouth through the network and business cards and the mobile phones. We've grown to a team of 12, which is great, but we needed more. So we invested in the website, and, how do you then kind of, we're still new to the market. How do you then kind of, make ourselves different from these big boys, and how do we differentiate our product offering? So we sort of realized that it wasn't the delivery that customers were looking for, but they were looking for something a little bit more personal. And the U's and the I's, this is what we want. I want my food delivered today, but I also want my dry cleaning delivered today. And I also don't want to have to go out and get my groceries. And honestly, I don't have time for any of that. I just want to go out to the bar or to the movies with my friends and my family, and I want someone else to take care of it. And you realize that the on-demand lifestyle is actually a pretty significant and important part of the last mile journey. So we pivoted away from the packages and the parcels and really started focusing on people. So you here, Dini, you've just arrived in London, and your hotel, you can't check in until 3 p.m. You obviously need your luggage stored, but at the same time, you need to grab some food. You might have left your shaver behind as a man. You need to, get that delivered to your hotel. So we started offering a little bit more personal service with the smaller hotels and concierge services there. And, we would bring in, it might be your anniversary and it's 10 p.m. Where are you going to get flowers from? Fresh flowers delivered in London at that particular time. So we looked at all the different sort of things that people would want, and we started offering that. And we built the first version of the app. The first version of the app offered, this at a mini scale, and through demand and the size of the market in London, we've grown. And we sort of pivoted away to more sort of looking at, if I'm allowed to say, the ride-sharing almost model, where now we have a fleet of 201 freelancers. Now, these 201 freelancers within our business, they're available at any given time, 24/7, at your beck and call. So if it's groceries, if it's food, if it's medicine, whatever you need, we'll get it done for you within a period of time. And hopefully, our delivery time is roughly about 55 minutes. And that really is the basics of the Swiftly model. What we've learned over the sort of last 3 months during COVID-19 is that we can make our techniques better, make it more accessible. But also what we have done is COVID-19 has given us the opportunity to scale back from actually doing deliveries and focus more on community. So right about now, a lot of the freelancers and drivers are actually offering services to the local markets, more or less almost as volunteers, so that we can ensure that people that are going in we've got to keep a 2-meter distance from everyone. There's not more people going in, but we've got less people going into supermarkets, and we're trying to serve part of the community here, keeping them at home, keeping them safe. That's really kind of the basics of my background in Swiftly.
Yeah, most definitely. And I'm not sure how it is over in your area, but in mine, we even have delivery services and warehouses shutting down and not doing deliveries at all. So, and I actually work in that field that, supply chains with their goods, for their store, per se, the salesman. So, having to experience that clients and customers are not getting their product is an issue, man, for this whole COVID-19. And I think that's wonderful that your freelancers are volunteering to, continue your service, continue the relationship with the customers, having their products delivered or their services delivered. And, this thing has really affected our economy worldwide, and have, made a lot of people become innovative and think of new ways to navigate through the business life. Have you implemented any changes due to COVID-19?
Yeah, I mean, we've been fortunate because we had foresight of this a long time, or a little bit earlier, being in the industry, and as I also do the job at times, most of the time as well, and we work internationally. I kind of saw some of our packages that were being delivered on the West Coast, and the work we were doing on the West Coast in your kind of part of the world, people were being affected. So the question was, right, okay, so you're here in Seattle, you're here in Washington, there's this virus thing called coronavirus, and we're coming into contact with people on a daily basis. How risky is that? There isn't a vaccine, so if you get it, what's going to happen? In Europe, same issue. So we started to scale back really quickly, and sort of at the beginning of March, we were just kind of ready for what we're kind of seeing now, which, that's one thing, because safety for myself and for you and everybody is pretty important. But then how do we then ensure that we can deliver on, the requests from our customers, which at one point we had to take our site down. So we then decided we'll do, like most of them, no contact deliveries, but only do certain types of deliveries where, we could ensure that the products delivered were sanitized, we could leave it safely at your door or bring it in, and that we wouldn't have to have that interaction with you. So we've implemented a lot of changes, but also what we have become is a little bit more service orientated. So people who are stuck, the elderly at home who cannot go to the supermarket or find it more risky to go to the supermarket or to the retailers, we're working with some of the larger ones to ensure that we can help them fulfill their deliveries to these guys, again, with no contact. And it's worked. I mean, last month we did probably about 1,500 orders across the small region that we're at, and that's pretty good for a business that's just offering a service, as we're not bringing in any revenue.
Yeah, most definitely. So your background, screams innovator, a doer to me.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of listeners that are, just starting out, trying to find their way in life, trying to find their purpose, their mission, and don't simply know where to start. How long did you sit on the idea of Swiftly before you actually, begin the work behind what you do now?
Well, I first started a business actually by taking a little bit back in the early 2000s, around about 2001. And it was, you have, back then, we still had print. So I bought this get-rich-quick scheme from the back of the magazine, and it was, selling car finance to individuals who had poor credit. And I got some subsidy and a grant from, the local authority, and we had a pretty nice office in London. But lo and behold, we grew pretty quickly as well, and, everything was going great. But the unfortunate and untimely thing was September the 11th, actually on that particular day, as we passed our first milestone, this unfortunate thing had happened, and there was almost no more business. So I shifted away from sort of the service industry of, car finance, and started another business not too long after that, which was towards the back end of 2000, which was more real estate. This is more personal, so I would just flip real estate, buy, a lower rent property, do it up and flip it. And I was quite lucky, I managed to then scale up and buy a nice house in London. Moved away from that business and then started more looking at the construction thing. But also I have, and probably I didn't get a chance to tell you on our first meeting, is I have a small passion for making things which you should have realized because from design and technology. So I have a workshop, and we actually make cooking pots. So we started making cooking pots and supplying these, customized ones through a network to some stores locally and abroad. But then after all of this, I was still in corporate working, and realizing that I can't afford to work and then follow my passions. 24 months of sitting at home, I had this idea of building a tech platform. So we went through various different ideas. Should we do recruitment? Should we go into this? And what I was really searching for was fixing the problem. And I quite quickly realized again that, the parcel industry has a massive problem, and the likes of, the giants, the Amazons and here, the Royal Mails, they fulfill and do their job brilliantly, but there's a shortfall because they got so much demand and not enough people to do it. So where can we fix the problem? We come in along with them. They offer services to contractors each year. They can only fulfill probably, I think, they put about 60% of their deliveries. But then we've got another 37% of your parcels sat there. How can we, use that? How can we have a slice of that? How can we then help you as a business serve the wider community? So the answer, and the long-winded answer to your question is, it swiftly has evolved over the last 36 months. So probably it's taken me 5 years to get to where we're at. And I personally don't believe that, we're at any real milestone, but at the same time, I'm quite delighted and think that, we're fortunate in the position that we are to have had this 5 years experience, because now where we're at in the growth stages, we have people calling us and saying, hey, look, we want to get a part, we want to invest in your business and help you grow, because not only have we, defined that there's various parts of technology that we could use to make the system better, but we continue to do research and development. We continue, to get involved in the industry to show the innovative ways that, we can help customers, get their goods, whether it's clothes, whether it's food, whether it's laundry, within a set time frame and not have to wait 3-4 days. And especially in this climate, nobody wants to wait 3-4 days for a mask or, water or hand sanitizers. They want it yesterday. And we found a clever way to do it. And, if the listeners are there and they hit our new registration page and download, sort of register, and we'll send them a pre-reg download for the new app, they'll get an experience of, what we're all about.
Mm-hmm. I like that a lot. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So, I could talk to you all day long. I remember some of your questions you asked me. It's a $37 billion market, but actually it's bigger than that, and it just keeps growing, and hopefully in the next 24 months, as we expand into North America and grow in London, we can take approximately about 15 to 20% of the total deliveries that aren't fulfilled, and at the same time, teach these younger ones who are coming in as founders or co-founders that you should never give up. And, always follow that dream if you believe in that dream, because it will never give up on you. But at the same time, if you do fail, just keep going, because I believe in every single failure that I've had over sort of like the 12 businesses that I've tried to start has only made me more successful and more resilient and more better at, the things that we do today.
That's right. What would you say, or how would you describe Swiftly's functionality? I think that's one of the major things that we look at when we're looking at an app, is their user interface, the easy navigation, easy on the eyes, and aesthetics. So how would you describe its functionality?
Well, the new product is all about that, usability in terms of, remember I studied computer science, so one of my kind of areas that I really focused on was the human computer interaction. So that really means the aesthetics, what you talked about. And, a lot of people don't know that colors on websites can actually make you grow up. You see a purple and then you can have an epileptic fit, et cetera, et cetera. So these are lots of things you've got to kind of take into consideration when you're working and developing. And the development team, I take my hat off to Norman and the team, because, I'm really involved in their day-to-day job. They can program, they know what they're doing. But there's one important part of it you quite rightfully mentioned is I download tons of apps every day or week, and most of them just don't go past me opening the app and it being deleted, because the functionality is not there, the colors wrong, the layout, and we take them and spend a lot of time. And I think we're actually on version 3.4 now, which is a new app which is going to be released. Due to COVID, we scaled back, so we're not doing any business. But the new app is released on the 20th of June, and it has all those functionalities that you talk about. So similar to the ride-sharing app, it's easy. It's functional, and the functional part of it is that you can not only just get your package picked up or delivered, but that same Swiftly member can pick up your Chick-fil-A or your KFC or your McDonald's. And that same Swiftly individual will just pick up a document for you from, the post office, whether it be stamps or whatever. So you've got one personal individual that's going to do all your errands for you and bring it to you, saving you the most valuable thing that nobody on this planet of 8 billion can buy, which is time. So, they do similar things in China and Southeast Asia, but we are the first, and I would like to say, I believe we are the first to actually bring this new way of doing things to the market, where you have the personal on-demand concierge service 24 hours a day, giving you anything and everything that you want in and around London. So if you want your flowers delivered at 10 p.m., we'll get your flowers at 10 p.m. You want to get to a restaurant, we tried it out. We get your bookings in the best restaurants that you know what I'm saying? We're here to help you, like Jeffrey the butler from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, if you remember.
Yeah. Cameron, how quickly are you looking to expand into the USA?
Well, we're already having conversations, and we found a location. And if it hadn't been for the current situation, we probably would have started, with our sort of test marketing. We've had conversations. We've got some retailers on board who would use the service, but at the moment, due to travel restrictions, we can't dot I's and cross T's, so it's on hold. But we're looking at August, September, October. Okay.
And you're headed to the West Coast, right? First.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I could really.
Your neck of the woods.
Say that again.
Is that your neck of the woods, right?
Yeah, that's where our station is. Stationed out there in Hollywood, near Studio City. So having something like Swiftly around, man, will definitely help our community, especially in large cities where, you have to wait on FedEx or UPS or snail mail to send out, records and packages to someone who, within 20 miles, but it's not our priority to drive the package there ourselves, So we rely on a service that takes 3 to 5 days to deliver a package when your service could deliver it within
the hour.
Within an hour. Record breaking.
Yeah, exactly. And the funny thing is, in London we have Uber, and we'll mention, and a lot of Uber drivers deliver sort of packages and keys, but they're not actually insured to do these things. So if your record goes missing and that's the only copy you have, you can't. It's on to you. We're doing things the right way. You know what I'm saying? So if you've ordered a vehicle and you want records to be delivered to the car, we'll give you a car. The beautiful thing about our vehicles as well is that they're almost zero emissions. So we got environmentally friendly vehicles. We've got the bikes and we have the scooters. So we can get anywhere and anything for you, and also save the planet at the same time.
Yes. All right. So let me ask you a personal question.
Talk to me.
You're the main man, the man with the superpowers, but how do you recharge? What do you do when I don't want to say work is overwhelming, but we, us entrepreneurs, we can work and work and work and never take a break, because working, is an essential part of us. But our bodies beg to differ. So when it's that time to get away from the work, or maybe the family or the wife or the girlfriend or the kids are asking for your time, how do you do that? How do you recharge yourself that you don't lose your progress in work, but you also don't lose yourself?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I spend a lot of time reading, so I don't consume television, but I read. And if it's any TV that I consume, it's got to be informative. So podcasts like yours is something that's going to educate and make a difference in my life, or I could pass that on to someone else. So I do a lot of reading. Also, I believe that you've got to have your mindset correct, and one way you do that is to have your health right, and also be spiritually right with God. So if you don't have that personal relationship, I'm not saying you should go out and quote the Bible or the Quran or whatever denomination that you follow. But what I'm saying is that if you're not spiritually right within yourself and whole within you, then you can't be whole outside. That's the first thing. So you've got to take a lot of time to meditate, and process your thoughts and rethink everything. And, that's therapeutic itself. You've got to have a wonderful woman in your life who likes yoga, and you can do some yoga with her at 6 a.m. in the morning. And just really focus on all the positive things. There's a lot of negatives and things that could, bring us down, and you could quite easily give up because you missed your target as a salesperson, or you never got paid this month, and you just been fired. But focus on the next thing, because the good things are just around the corner. And just having that belief, faith, that's your belief system, and not giving up. All of these things together within yourself and keeping your mind straight. For me, that's what keeps me focused and keeps me going day in and day out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And what kind of work culture is encouraged at Swiftly?
Well, we have, I don't believe in micromanagement coming from the corporate side of things. So we've got a team of 12 internally. Now, what we do is we allow everyone to just do their job. So, with the developers, they have their mandate. We have weekly meetings. We have daily catch-ups. And we communicate freely and openly, and there's no hierarchy. I don't believe in that. I believe that one should be able to express himself and not feel that, if he says something out of tone, that it might go against him, whatever. You express yourself, we discuss it, we fix the problem, we move on.
Yes, I like that. All right, before we let you go, what's the best advice that you've ever received?
The best advice I've ever received? That's a good question. Many, but one that sticks in my mind is, and I said it to an individual yesterday, I'll give you a couple. One thing for entrepreneurs, especially the younger ones, and those that I know right now, is just keep getting comfortable with the idea of being uncomfortable. So whether you want to sleep, whether you have to sleep in your car, whether you have to go with no rent, or be late on your rent, have to go with, just dieting for a little bit. Just be prepared to be uncomfortable. And being uncomfortable is only going to push you to want to be more successful. And I'll take a quote from someone else, actually, and he says that, if you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you will be successful. And I keep that in my mind all the time, because if someone's choking you, you just want to get out, right? And just thinking about your business, just holding you around your neck, and you just want to get out, and you just want to be better, and you want it to be better as well. And yeah, just keep focused, never give up.
Absolutely right, man. All right, what do you want people to connect with you online, and where can they find this app and your service?
Yeah, well, you could follow us. I'd appreciate it if you would. At Swiftly London on Instagram. You could also just pre-register to download the new app at swiftlylondon.co.uk or swiftly.com, either or. And just like us when you can. Send me a message, and I can send you some pre-screens or some beta versions of the app so you can start testing it in and around your city.
All right, sounds great. And listeners, just in case you need those links, we will have them in the show notes and in the description of this episode. Download it, try it out, demand it. If it's not in your area, demand it. Text your buddy. Check this out. Look,
yes.
I do service. We need this here. And I believe enough customer base will actually bring your service to them. Is that correct, or is that something that you don't look at?
Well, we're looking at the moment as expansion as we're looking at enough customer base. Yes, we'll bring it to the city, but at the same time, we know that there's a demand, and we're just going to try and roll it out on the West Coast, as you mentioned, your neck of the woods, Washington. But more demand means more freelancers, means more retailers, means more Swiftly team members, which means you've got more time to go out and spend with your family.
Nice. Yes, sir, indeed. Well, man, I want to thank you again, Mr. Cameron Black, the awesome Mr. Cameron Black, for being our special guest this morning. I just wish you much success, man, and I'll be watching and downloading the app myself, playing with it, and maybe help influence a couple other people to do the same.
Definitely, Dini. I look forward to delivering your records for you.
All right. Thank you so much. I can use your service, man.
Definitely. Thanks for having me, and I appreciate the listeners for taking time to listen to us as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a great morning.
You too. Take care.
Okay, Swiftly, concierge service on demand. Swiftly, all right in the palm of your hand. Download it now. Delivery service, that's right. Available 24/7, 365. Packages, groceries, food, gifts, medicine, and more. Get it to your door, none better than keeping London moving. This is what you're missing. If you're ready, download it now. This is Swiftly. Hey.
Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab that from either Spreaker.com/only1mediagroup, iTunes, YouTube, any app that's on a Google Play or iTunes store, or our website, and that goes from every single episode that we've ever aired. If you'd like to request music or a particular guest or send something for me to play, email it to theradio@only1mediagroup.com. If it's music, please label it by artist and title. Here's my disclaimer. We are genre-free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay, but facts alone. And actually, you can scratch all of that because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, so deal with it. Nah, just kidding. On behalf of myself, Dini-Mussolini, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word because sharing is caring. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, as well as Spreaker. We always follow back. That is the number one rule. Okay, well, just remember to be yourself and be absolutely great at just doing that. Avoid being too comfortable because you're messing with your potential when you do that. Peace and have a good night.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.